There is a variety of myths and tales that depict the heart and soul of the people who live in the Alpine area. These legends and myths are found in the region where the mountains make people look tiny, and the mist tells stories. The mythology of the Sennentuntschi is one example of this kind of narrative. It is a fascinating and terrifying story that, at the same time, generates both intrigue and fearfulness. The Bernese Alps, Carinthia, Liechtenstein, Upper Bavaria, and Styria are just few of the regions along which this dark mythology is prevalent. In this in-depth research, we will take a deeper look at this legend, which is common across the region. A female creature was artificially created by a group of solitary shepherds and Alpine dairymen in the High Alps, according to the mythology of the Sennentuntschi, which is also known as Hausali, or Sennpoppa, Sennpuppa. This creature, which was conceived out of boredom, ultimately takes on a life of its own and causes its creators to experience a nightmare. The narrative begins with the creation of this figure. Secluded from society and alone in the harsh mountain scenery, these shepherds and Alpine dairymen who worked in the Alps were mostly men. They were also exposed to hard conditions. They decided to make a female doll in order to alleviate their feelings of isolation and boredom. They entertained themselves by feeding this doll, conversing with it, and even bringing it to bed with them. Nevertheless, as the mountain descent draws to a close, the game, which was first a pleasant activity, transforms into a nightmare. The doll comes to life and begins to speak. The doll that has come to life, which is now a creature with its own awareness, is demanding vengeance for the wrongdoings that the shepherds have performed against it. The Sennentuntschi is said to have a horrible retribution for the wicked act of her creation and the unholy contact with her. According to the mythology, she compels one of the shepherds to remain with her and then tears the skin off of his body. It is possible to draw parallels between the narrative of Sennentuntschi and the old tale of Pygmalion, in which a self-created picture likewise acquires a life of its own. This unique pattern is a reflection of a common human characteristic that is referred to as the Pygmalion effect in the field of psychology. This effect refers to the inclination to assign life and experience to a creature that resembles man in terms of character and appearance. The horrifying tale of the Sennentuntschi sheds light on the deep-seated anxieties and imaginations that people who lived in the lonely Alpine areas had over their own lives. It is likely that the mythology evolved from the concepts that were associated with the solitary existence of the Alpine shepherds during the summer months. Additionally, the narrative may incorporate components of several religions. Atonement for the sacrilegious act of producing and animating the doll and touching it might be accomplished via the figure of the Alpine dairyman who has been mistreated. Throughout the course of history, the Sennentuntschi evolved into a metaphor for an artifact, or thing that was conceived out of desperation, and that respectable people ought not to be concerned with. Additionally, it serves as a warning of the repercussions that might result from exceeding natural bounds, as well as a reminder that every creation, regardless of whether it is natural or manufactured, must be treated with respect and dignity. There is little doubt that the tale of Sennentuntschi is one of the most well-known and interesting stories associated with the Alpine area till now. It exemplifies the evil side of human nature, which is the capacity to develop out of boredom and loneliness, things that are beyond us, and that we are eventually unable to control. It is a harsh warning of the perils of hyperbole and godlessness, representing the terror of the unknown and the uncontrolled, and it is a mirror of the fear of the unknown.